I can too.
Oh, okay. Well, can John can't see. John.
I'll look at John. I give him eyes.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's go.
We good? All right. Well, welcome to South by Southwest 2026. We are Aaron and Ange of the Bitch Talk podcast, joined by our honorary bitch, John Wildman, editor-in-chief of Films Gone Wild. And in this segment, we're going to talk about a documentary called The Dads, which is having its world premiere in the documentary spotlight. We have a couple of guests with us. We're going to have them introduce themselves so you can recognize their voices. Let's start with our director.
I am Luchina Fisher, and I am the director and producer of The Dads.
I am Steve Chikumba, pronouns he, him, and I am a subject and producer of The Dads.
Yeah, you are. All right, let's start with our director here. Introduce our audience to your film.
Yeah, so The Dads is a continuation of our short documentary, which premiered here 3 years ago, almost to the day, which is just crazy. And it's about dads of trans kids, gender-expansive kids. And these dads, at the end of the short, were starting a movement. And we're so delighted that our short inspired them to continue the work that they're doing. And the feature basically picks up with that. And we started filming new dads coming from all over the country. And then the political landscape changed. And we had a different film on our hands, and suddenly the dads were confronted with this impossible choice, which is, do we stay and fight, or do we flee the country?
So I wanted to ask you, we were talking outside, and I was like, I remember seeing this film, and I was like, am I crazy? Did I see this? You know, like, the timing is time. But I want you to talk about this journey from 2023 till now, and like you said, the landscape has changed. But what was the feedback then? And then can you talk about kind of the feedback now?
Well, I love how you put that, because many people were like, if you blinked, you missed it. It was 11 minutes short. And it was intentional because we really wanted the film to be accessible, and I didn't want people to say, oh, I don't have time to watch that. We really wanted to reach middle America, like everyday people, people who don't have trans or gender expansive kids. And so we debuted this short here. Literally the next day, Netflix emailed and said, we want your film. And I mean, talk about like exceeding any dreams or expectations we had. And that changed everything. Dwayne Wade came on board as an executive producer, and suddenly the film took on this new life, this global life, and the dads knew that they had a platform from which to organize as a movement. So yeah, we thought 23 was bad in terms of the attacks on trans people. It's only gotten worse, and even since we finished filming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we didn't think was going to happen was how bad it had gotten after 2023, because we were very much focusing on state level attacks and really supporting fathers in Texas, in Arizona, in Missouri, in places where, okay, it makes sense because they're uber red states. We did not anticipate, we could not have anticipated that it would take on this kind of federal level feel, and that it would be so sustained. Like in the beginning of this year, in January alone, over 600 anti-trans bills have been filed in the first month of the year. It eclipsed everything that had been filed in all of 2025. And it was like, where are we? Like, where are we? And for fathers who were new to parenting gender expansive children, it's terrifying. Like, it's terrifying to think that because of how your child identifies, you are now thrust onto the front lines of this battle, whether you want to be or not. And for the dads that we've been able to reach, it's like you have to be in the breach. You have to step up. Your child can't do this alone, and they shouldn't have to do it at all. But if anyone's going to do it, it should be the parents. And really, people who've been absent from this fight, from the front line specifically, have been dads. So I'm like, yo, y'all motherfuckers need to step up, because this is not like normal, and it's even less normal for parents to not be supporting their children regardless of what they're going through. So that was my thing. It's like, this is a clarion call for us to like get involved and do something to stop this. And this movie, I think, is a perfect vehicle because it's not glamorizing or making excuses. It's just showing you the real of what it is to parent a child. And you can't not relate to that. You can't be like, oh shit, this kid can't get healthcare, so they're gonna move to a place where they can. Real basic shit. And so for us, it was like, yeah, let's just tell the story without, contextualizing, without, demonizing anything. Let's just tell the story and let people decide like what they think is the next thing for them to do.
Well, I'll start off by demonizing Kansas.
They're doing a pretty good job at that.
Yeah. But I'll do that when we're all chatting afterwards, because I want to give you a chance to talk about filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And when you have a film like this, and especially you've literally lived with these subjects for quite a while, and and I always love to talk about the trust that the filmmaker has to have with their subjects in any case in a documentary. But in this case, your subjects are also protecting their kids, and you're coming with your camera, showing everything and anything. And so talk about that, about one, how you got everybody to buy in and go, we trust you, we trust you, and then after that, how as the project then continued on and became longer, how then you becoming kind of a de facto part of the family just with your camera, how that helped and also became a challenge for you as a filmmaker.
Oh. Oof.
I know, it's a lot.
That's a doozy.
I don't know if you should bring this guy on. He's really his honorary status may have to get reversed. Just put it out there.
Bitch. Itself.
Yes.
Facts. Okay, let me stop talking. Answer the question,
I'm
Luchina.
a boss bitch, first of all. And my training is journalism, so for me, there's the moral, ethical approach to filmmaking, and with any subject, trust is the foundation. It starts there. And connection. You've got to have a connection to the story that you're telling, especially in documentary. And for me, these are families that I advocate beside as a mother of a trans kid. So back when we were, imagining this short, I literally was overhearing Dennis and Wayne and Frank make plans for a trip to go hunting. And they are standing with me at this LGBTQ youth conference. And I thought, wow, that's like an interesting juxtaposition of two very different things. But listen, it's happening, it's here. And I wish Middle America could hear this. And then I realized, oh, I'm a storyteller, they can. So I asked the dads if I could come along with them. And they got it, they understood, like, oh yeah, this could be interesting. And Human Rights Campaign came on board, and that was the short. Now it's interesting, while I was accepting the Daytime Emmy Award, these dads were meeting again on their second retreat in Maine. And I know you all were gathered at the fire waiting to hear the good news. And I was with Dwayne Wade and John Marcus, our executive producers from 59th and Prairie. And, I was really thinking the short told the story I needed to tell. But Stephen insisted on at least having cameras to record that second retreat. And then we saw the footage together, and I was like, you know what, there is something here. Maybe we go home with the dads this time. This was something people wanted to have more of, meet their families, meet their kids. And I think because they had seen what the short did, and they knew where my heart was, they knew